Alright guys, welcome back. We are watching Nekomonogatari Shiro, Part 2, Tsubasa Tiger Part 2. Last time was, of course, the first episode of the arc. Let me get my notes open here. Hanakawa's house burned down, there's a tiger running around, Aragi's missing, we got a whole bunch going on, to be honest. I don't know. I guess we gotta see. We ended the episode with Hanakawa reaffirming that she is indeed still in love with Aragi, which I don't know. I've been thinking about that, about why Shinjogahara asked that, and whether or not Hanakawa is in love with Aragi. You know, I don't know, because I don't know if Hanakawa understands what love is and how it works. But I don't know. I mean, Aragi doesn't either. So that's a common problem, it seems. I don't know. I'm curious where we're gonna go. I guess there's a tiger running around that's gonna kill some people. I bet. So that'll be unfortunate. All right, we're watching Tsubasa Tiger Part 2. Can line you and copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Oh, please do. Please do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember. It's kind of infamous, right? Mm-hmm. That bad, huh? Okay. Okay, that's really making me think. Before spring break, huh? He was doing okay. Hmm. He fought the law. Okay. Wow. Okay. So it's junior high. Man, I don't think we've heard about this really. Although I don't remember. I feel like in My Oi Snail he mentioned something vaguely related to this too. Maybe I'm crazy though. Hmm. Yeah. Despite him changing, right? Well, I don't know. Is it despite him changing or because of him changing? I don't know. I don't know. Huh. Man, well, I mean, that's a whole bunch of stuff that we haven't really gotten into. Like Aragi's life before spring break, we don't know anything about it, honestly. Let me read the lyrics this time. Hmm. Fairy tale world, huh? I can't decide if I like this opening more than the last one or not. I think I do. It's obviously a lot happier, which is good. That makes me feel like this arc is gonna um, have a happier ending than the last one. Wait for a prince's kiss. I don't know. I don't know. I like that opening. No, we did. Okay. Hmm. We're skipping chapters, apparently. Didn't wake up in the hallway this time. Hmm. What do you mean? Yeah. You think you slept literally all day and into the night? Thank you. Mm-hmm. It's interesting because, like, sure, she creates walls in her heart, but so does Hanakawa, and I think much more so than her. Yeah. It really is. It feels like Hanakawa. Yeah, you haven't changed? Okay. It feels like Hanakawa has just been talking now about how much Araragi has changed, how much Shinjagahara has changed, everyone around her, right? Hmm. Oh, that's such a sad way to think about yourself. Hmm. I don't know. Is it true that she hasn't overcome anything? I guess she won't let herself, right? Whoa, whoa. Come on. Well, no, it wasn't. But come on, you have to say that. I honestly love the short hair look on Hanakawa. It looks so good. You think? I don't know. I mean, I've never had super long hair, but okay. I. What do you mean? Oh, of course. Oh, there's no choice. Okay, okay. Obviously. Okay, well, you don't have to say that. That's makes it worse. Well, it wasn't a concern until you said that, probably. Hmm. True. Oh well, of course. I mean, I guess that should have been obvious. Of course, yeah. That ruins everything. Okay, I. What are you talking about? I assume that's okay. Yeah, some kind of kanji joke. Oh, yeah. I was literally just thinking about that. I wonder how long it's been since she said that to someone. Oh man. Oh, so like I guess the rumor was like her friend. Oh no. Oh man. That's so awful. Hmm. I wonder how long it's been since she's had someone cook for her too. I mean, if everyone in her family uses different kitchen utensils, if you say so. That maybe I've no one's ever called anyone that I've ever seen, but yeah, which is just depressing because of the circumstances surrounding that. Hanakawa could never do that. She could never criticize anyone. So please. I. Okay, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh. Hmm. I would actually like that. Okay, how would it leak out? What do you mean? Sure. Sounds good. Oh man, I wanted to hear. Yeah, what are we gonna do? Yeah. Hmm. Oh man. Yeah. So where are we gonna go? See, it's like what I'm saying here is it's interesting how basically their house already didn't exist. You know, she basically essentially already didn't have a home. And it burning down is just forcing her to actually face the situation. Hmm. That's pretty fast, I guess. I don't know. Okay, yeah, how about you tell us? Hmm. I'm starting to like get it, I guess. Like, oh, okay. Hi, Black Kanakawa. It makes sense, I suppose. Hmm. I didn't realize that, but sure. If you say so. Makes sense. Hmm. Really is it's like it broke the illusion, you know? Or just the way she could like fool herself, I guess. Yeah, it sure does. I don't know if that's a good thing though. Where are we going? What are we doing? I assume we aren't randomly running around and attacking people again. That didn't really help much. Oh, we're hanging out with the tiger. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, not quite. Unclear. You got the details and the fundamentals wrong. Okay. Hmm. Are we gonna fight each other? Same type of aberration. Yeah, makes sense. Ooh, okay. So Black Hanakawa doesn't know either. I was wondering if she like knew. God, I'm gonna sneeze. Never mind, I'm not going to. I'm just still trying to figure out what is the difference between Black Hanakawa and the tiger, you know? And, well, okay. And the tiger is just calling her that girl. Yeah, haven't possessed her exactly. Mm-hmm. You are very much a part of her. I guess the tiger seems like much more of an actual, like, aberration oddity than Black Hanakawa, you know? Like, it's so much more, like, externalized. Because it's, like, a literally a separate entity, you know? That's... They saw you, that's all that matters. Okay. Did it... What happened? Oh, okay. It attacked you with telekinesis or something and threw you into the air. Unlucky. God. Hmm. It's all useless. That girl saw you. Saw what? You know? Like, obviously, we're like saying that the girl saw him means something, right? Other than just literally seeing the tiger. Like, it's something that, like, triggered the tiger to exist, right? Oh, okay. Mm hmm. Aw. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe it doesn't make a difference for her. She can take it. Huh. Man, I wish Hanakawa could have seen that. Ah, that's so good. Man, Hanakawa's a mess. Ugh. Oh, this music. What the heck? It's crazy. She looks very tired. It does. Man, I love this track right now. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you know about salad dressing? Occasionally. What do you mean occasionally? You've heard rumors of people doing that. Okay. All right. So what, just all of it was completely unseasoned and just like just plain bread? Okay. Man. 0. Man, okay. That is very interesting. Like, hmm. I guess it makes me think of just like how she I'm trying to think how to word it exactly. No, I think she just tells herself she doesn't care either way, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. She doesn't have any tastes, right? Which also brings us back to the idea of Araragi, right? Hmm. She doesn't have that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. She'll accept anything, right? That's what it is, you know. Just like with her parents abusing her, right? Not that she accepted it, but she certainly couldn't do anything about it herself, you know. Or just her home situation in general, you know. She will accept anything, you know? Okay, yeah, literally. Thank you. Oh, that makes me wonder. Like, I wonder what she said about Araki then in that conversation that we didn't get to see, you know? Or is that the point? We didn't get to see it because this is her attitude, you know? And that's why she, like, didn't show it to us. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But can you even call it. Okay, I literally, that's what I was about to say. Oh my god. Can you even call it tastes? Like, hmm. A good question. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like she is, but I don't think she understands her feelings enough to. Oh man, that's the end. Okay. I don't know. I think she is. I think she is. But it's interesting that Shinji is bringing that idea up, you know? Like, I don't think the conclusion to this is going to be, oh, Hanakawa wasn't actually in love with Araki all along, you know? Um, we'll talk about it in the discussion. There's so much stuff I want to say about that. But I actually love this ending. I think it's my second favorite after Kimi no Shiranai, of course. If I had to rank them, probably Kimi no Shiranai, this one, probably Nekomonogatari Kuro, and then Nisa Monogatari. It's easier to rank the endings than the openings for me. It would be so hard for anything to ever surpass Kimi no Shiranai for me. Like, it just feels so special. Like all the moments in Bakemonogatari when they like have the ending start playing as like the resolution to the arc began. Oh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know, Nautico can join you. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Like Araki. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Sure. I guess, if you say so. What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay. We will talk about it in the discussion. All right, let's talk about the episode. Man, that was a good one. Uh, I don't know. There's a whole lot of stuff I feel like I'm gonna have to think about from this episode. So that's annoying, making me think, man. And also, like, so we start off the episode here with Hanakawa telling us we're going to talk about Araki. And I guess, like, we literally do talk about Araki, right? Like, I feel like when you first read this, what you think is she's going to talk about, like, her feelings about Araki. But we don't get that at all. She just tells us about Araki, and then at the end, she says, oh, and also I'm in love with him. So, I don't know, that's kind of... I feel like that, like, makes sense, though, right? Like, of course she wouldn't talk about her own feelings, but because I guess I just read this and I was thinking like, oh yeah, we're gonna like, she's gonna tell us about how she thinks about Araki and her feelings towards him. But no, it's just like an expository explanation about all this stuff she knows about Araki. So sure, not that it's not interesting, right? Like all this stuff about Araki before spring break is very interesting. Like it makes me rethink something I said before, which is like I was saying that I doubt we're ever going to go back to anything before Kizu, because before Kizu was when like the story began, right? Like that was the first oddity that appeared in the story, right? Was Shinobu, Aragi meeting her down in the subway. So her saying all of this about him doing stuff during like junior high, that was apparently something like what he had done during spring break and Golden Week, which we haven't heard about this at all, right? Like, I guess, I don't know. I feel like I have a very vague memory of him saying something remotely similar to this during My Snail. Um, I remember in that conversation, in one of the conversations in My Snail, he said that was when he first brought up the idea that he changed a lot over spring break. But I feel like there was something. I feel like he said something about something like this. Was it specifically about junior high? I might also just be hallucinating. This didn't happen. I might just be thinking about that line about spring break. I swear he mentioned something about this already, though. So I guess this isn't technically the first time we've heard of this. But I don't know. Like, surely we're gonna see more about this at some point, right? This idea of what Aragi was doing during junior high. I don't know. I don't know. I guess obviously it brings up like I guess obviously the first thing it means is that like Aragi and the way he acts now is nothing new, right? Like it's not like it was somehow a result of what happened over spring break or like that Kiss Shot was the first one that he decided to like act like that with. Which I guess is probably obvious, right? I just think that is interesting to know, of course, that he has acted like this since at least junior high. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. It's basically the same. There's a big difference in his motivations. Hmm. Hmm. And yeah, he refuses to discuss what happened even more than the events of spring break, which, like, I guess that makes sense, right? Like, if he refuses to discuss it so much that we haven't heard about it through his POV at all, then it's like, he won't even tell us about it, like the like whatever we are, we haven't heard about it at all because apparently it's something that he wants to talk about so little that he won't even. It's like less than spring break. He wants to talk about it. There's a mental turning point during his first year of high school. You know what? I'm gonna write that down. Like I don't know. Um. Hmm. What would have happened during the first year of high school? Um. Now I don't remember. Um. Did Aragi we've gotten the idea before. We've known for a while that Aragi is kind of like an infamous loser around here, right? Like what he was saying in Kizu to Hanakawa about how like he'd be lucky now if he just graduated and all that, and like how he only really started seriously studying because of Senjugahara, you know. Like, is this like when that started, you know, when he started acting like this, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I remember, if we go back to Mario Snell again, I feel like I remember him thinking stuff about how he used to be like you know, he used to feel like a better kid than he does now, right? That was kind of the whole thing about Mario Snail, you know, is how he felt like he didn't fit in with the family, because he thought he was like a loser, you know, so he felt like he didn't deserve to be there on Mother's Day. So like, man, I would have to go rewatch it again. I feel like there was some line, something about how he, you know, he's doing terrible in all of his classes and stuff. And I think there was something about how he, you know, used to not be this terrible of a kid in his mind, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we will go more into this at some point. If it wasn't in My Always Snail, I'm trying to think when this would have been, because I know I just have like this vague idea in my mind that he has said something about that before. I just don't remember when exactly. Hmm. The cause for his delinquencies. And yeah, I mean, I guess she literally points it out here that yeah, that like is when he started, you know, being a loser. And man, I guess this kind of sets up like a running theme throughout the episode, I suppose. Maybe it'll be throughout the arc in general, which is like the change in people around Hanakawa, and Hanakawa, I guess, like what she thinks about it. You know, it's very interesting that she's able to recognize that Araragi has changed. Of course, she's able to recognize that Araragi has changed, right? Like if she's probably very happy that he has changed, that he's obviously much better off now than he was like during Kizu, you know. And she's able to understand that he's still Araragi, of course, right? Like, of course, I mean, I don't know how he thinks about it, but yeah, and even though he's completely different now, he's still him, you know. And I just feel like that applies so well to like Hanakawa as well. How like like what she was thinking in the scene in a minute in the shower, right? About how it's like she has been unable to overcome anything or change at all, right? It's like, I mean, I assume it's like she's like jealous of it, you know, on some level that she can't change, you know. I mean, of course she can change. She won't let herself change, right? Okay, I hope maybe at the start of the next episode we'll get another talk about when she started being in love with him, I guess. I wonder if she even knows either, though. Hmm. So, the opening's good. I like the opening. I don't know. I really can't decide if I like this one or the last one more. This one is, again, it's a lot happier, which makes me think that like the arc is gonna have a much happier ending. I really like the ending part of the opening, the last little bit here, with her like thinking about how it's about just waiting for a prince's kiss, you know, which is what she's been doing essentially, right? Hmm. If we skipped another chapter, which is apparently Black Hanakawa waking up, I don't know how I was supposed to. I don't know. Like if anyone has ever predicted that, I don't know what they're doing. That would be insane. And she wakes up here. I just think about how different it must be to wake up here. I wonder how long it's been that she's woken up anywhere in any way other than waking up to the Roomba hitting her on the head. You know, lying in the hallway. Like, uh, I would just, man. Hmm. And again, I feel like her thinking this, like, not even Aragi can keep the side of this sleeping face all to himself just yet. You know, it's like, in that face, it really just makes me think it's like I really think it's like she's jealous of Araragi, you know? Like, not that she's like jealous of him dating Senju, but that she's jealous of like, his life and the way that he's been able to change, you know? Of course, like, I don't think she would ever able be able. Can I speak? I don't think she would ever able. I literally can't talk. I don't think she would ever be able to like cope with that emotion, right? The idea of being like jealous of other people being able to change, unlike her, you know. Because like in the shower scene in a second, she talks about how she can't bring herself to hate Senju for it. So like that alone, it's like she's already equating the idea of like seeing other people around her changing. She thinks that would like make her hate them because she is unable to change herself, right? Like, which is interesting that she would even think of it like that, right? Like it just shows that she has this very negative view of just that, even the idea of an emotion like that, you know, equating it to hate. Hmm. I gotta read this conversation again. Yeah, Senju is the type of person who creates very strong walls in her heart, which is true. Like, obviously Hanakawa does as well, right? Like, very much so. Um, Senju, when she was in her, like, fake tsundere mode, like, before Hitagi Crab, and even, I guess, kind of, like, leading up to, like, all the stuff with Kaiki, even. That was when it was kind of, like, not really resolved, but that's when she, like, started, I don't know, dealing with it better, I guess. Senju just like showed it to the world a lot better than Hanakawa does. I think Hanakawa, if anything, has even much stronger walls in her heart than anyone else. She's just very good at I don't know, ignoring it, pretending that they aren't there, right? Accepting everything, I guess. Hmm. And it's yeah, it's just yet again, just like she was thinking with Aragi. It's just her thinking about all of the ways that Senju has changed, the way that she has, developed as a person, uh, throughout the story. Everything that she's overcome. Where like for Hanakawa, that's like the main thing about Hanakawa as a character. She's unable to overcome anything, right? Like specifically, both of her arcs that we've seen have ended with her explicitly not overcoming anything, right? We just have these very half-assed solutions, right? Where she just gets drained by Shinobu, and it doesn't fix anything, right? Like she's completely unable to face her problems at all. Because it's like it's just like what Senju says. It's like she's just accepting it. It's like she's accepting it and just like, oh, this just I can't do anything about it until it just like boils over and she can't stand it anymore. That's when Black Hanakawa spawns in. Hmm. I haven't overcome a single thing. But I don't know. Is it true that she hasn't changed at all? I guess it kind of is. It really, like, I know that feels like awful to say, but really, how, like, what has she done at all to face her situation? Like, with anything, with her family, with Araragi, with, you know, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I guess she says it here, right? She envied Senju, so like, hmm, like if that's the emotion we're really talking about here, envy and jealousy, right? Like, would that not if that's not something that in some way Black Hanakawa represents already, right? Then could you say that that's what the tiger represents? Like the reason why I don't like that though is I guess I don't understand for one like what would have triggered this in Hanakawa to make her suddenly start feeling like this, right? Like unless I guess she just suddenly had this realization that all of the people around her have changed so much and she hasn't and that makes her like jealous. Um because like we know that Hanakawa wants to change so badly. That was I mean the pretty much the second to last scene of Nekomonogatari Kuro shows that, right? Like the conversation with Aragi about him saying, "Oh, it's impossible to change. You will never be any different," and she says she's not okay with that, right? So I guess her being jealous of all of these people that have changed so much, that's why we're talking about it so much, makes sense to me. I guess I just don't understand like if we're saying if that's the emotion we're really honing in on here, which it seems to be, right? We have this tiger that I think is very clearly just like Black Hanakawa, representative of some part of Hanakawa somehow. I guess it being representative of jealousy and envy like makes sense. Um, I guess I just don't understand what like would make it show up now, right? Like with Black Hanakawa showing up, it's just like her feelings kind of reach a boiling point. Where Black Hanakawa just kind of shows up because she can't like take it anymore, right? Her stress is built up too much. Um, and I guess like one, I don't understand exactly why Black Hanakawa. If Black Hanakawa is representative of all of these negative emotions that Hanakawa feels that she doesn't want to like feel or a part of herself, why would specifically envy and jealousy not be able to be encapsulated by Black Hanakawa too? And then also, it's just like, to me, the tiger seems like such a big event. It seems like something specifically must have triggered it, right? Like her reaction to seeing the tiger, right? In the last episode, when she was like so shocked and unable to speak or say anything, right? And she just stood there dumbfounded as she was looking at it. Um, it very much it makes me think that it's like some kind of emotion that she has just suddenly just been like assaulted with, and that she's like unable to process or think about, the realization that she's feeling something. um and just like what the tiger says in this episode too, that like, oh, Hanakawa saw him. um so like, I guess that's, it's like her realization that she's feeling some kind of emotion. So like, I mean, I guess that could just happen at any moment. I guess maybe there doesn't specifically have to be some kind of trigger. um I don't know. I just don't like that. I feel like there has to be, but I guess I just can't. I guess I just can't think of what it would be. Like, why would it just be now, right now, that she would suddenly realize, oh yeah, all these people around me have changed so much, and I'm really jealous, so I'm gonna spawn in this tiger. Like, what would have happened now? You know what I mean? Because it's been, oh, I mean, it's August 21st now. It's been a while since since Aragi started changing. It's been a while since Sindrugahara started changing. Um, I guess I just don't know. I guess I just don't know. Like, I guess, like, I would want to say that the house burning down was the trigger, but the tiger showed up before the house burned down, right? Like, the idea is that the tiger was like, so I don't know. I guess I just don't know. Hmm. Because to me, I guess it's like the tiger showing up is Hanakawa like realizing some emotion that she wasn't able to process before. And the house burning down is like breaking the illusion of a household that she had, right? Because like her house was essentially already burned down, right? Like she didn't have a home. It was just her like tricking herself, going there to sleep in the hallway. The idea that she had a house, you know. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, again, this is only the second episode, so I guess we'll see. I just really don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess again, it's like if this whole idea of envy is going to continue, then the idea of the tiger representing that makes sense to me. I would just have to see like more, I guess, and like why she would start facing this now, you know? I don't know. I mean, I guess you could just apply like similar logic to it as Black Hanakawa and say it was just something that built up inside of her. But again, I can't think of what would have happened. I don't know. I just don't like that. I just don't like that. Just because of the scene of her looking at the tiger and like what I feel like that like represents in her mind. The idea of suddenly facing this emotion that she was like assailed with. Hmm. She's thrown out her only outfit other than her pajamas and her school uniform. Come on. She worked hard on that. Or wait, was that? No, that wasn't her pajamas. That was, I don't know. I guess she had a separate set of pajamas, which was that weird gray sweatsuit thing. Yeah, it was not, it wasn't very good. Sorry. Man, it must have been hot too, sleeping in that thing with no air conditioning in the school. I didn't even think about that. Hmm. Long hair is less of a hassle to maintain. I'm telling you that means something, like the hair means something. I just don't know exactly. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not locked in on the hair metaphors, unfortunately. And of course, Sindrugahara wants to sleep in the same futon as Hanakawa to use her as a pillow, which I guess I can't really blame her. I don't know. I don't know. If Sindrugahara is gonna like brag to Araragi so much after all of this, it's gonna be he's never gonna get over it. Yeah, she says goodnight, which like how long has it been since she said goodnight to someone? Like ah, it's just so sad. It's so sad, man. Hmm. And I guess like the Roomba was like her friend. I didn't think about that. I guess I thought that the Roomba was like when we got that first scene of the Roomba like running into her head, I was thinking it's like, oh, it's like the Roomba, trying to push her out of the way. It's like she's another piece of trash in the hallway that it needs to pick up, right? But I guess like for Hanakawa, it's like the Roomba was her was her wake up call, was her little buddy that she could say good morning to. That's so sad. Like, man. Hmm. And also, Shinjigahara, you were lying. You were hanging out with Black Hanakawa last night. Come on. How far into the episode are we? God, this can be a very long discussion. So we start getting into this idea of taste, I guess, which is very interesting, right? It's like, because again, it's like, I feel like it would be so easy to like misinterpret this as the idea that Hanakawa like is just trying to like fit in, right? And I don't think that's it. I really don't think it's that Hanakawa's like motivation for everything is to try and like fit in, right? I guess I just don't really like that. I really think it's more so her like um not being able to bring herself to like stand up for herself in any way, basically, right? Like that's why she accepts everything. Like they start talking about here, you know? And it's so bad that like she I even with food, she can't bring herself to say if she likes or dislikes any specific food, you know, because that would be you know like making a stand on a certain thing in her life in a way, you know, like it sounds so silly because it's like such a tiny minuscule thing that everyone in the world does have foods that they like or dislike, but for her even that is just like too much, you know, like. Ah, just like how she's unable to do anything to change her own situation by herself, right? Without thinking that she's like an evil monster going around draining people like Black Hanakawa, right? She can't bring herself to even talk about what food she likes or dislikes, you know. Hmm. And I guess the reason why we don't get to see this conversation of what they dislike about Araragi, I guess it makes sense, right? Because it's Hanakawa could never bring herself to show that to anyone, you know? So we just skip it, right? We don't get to see it, right? So I wonder if even in this conversation, if she was even able to say anything. I guess we'll never know, right? Um, hmm. Just that is very that makes sense to me, right? Of course she can't show us what she doesn't like about Araki. That'd be crazy, you know? I wonder at the same time if she'd be able to even say what she likes about Araki, you know? I guess she could just say like her standard boilerplate, like, you know, oh, what's good and what's not good, you know. Hmm. And again, like to me, the fact that Hanako has now been suddenly thrown into this situation where she doesn't have anywhere to sleep and that she has to face her problem, right, because of her house burning down. It really is like if if the tiger is in some way like I don't know. I mean, I don't know if the tiger literally burned down her house. Like I guess that's what Shinjigahara pretty much implied that I guess in the last episode that the tiger like did it essentially, or at least that there's some way linked. Which I agree with that. Right? It's like her house burning down. It's just making her like actually face the problem that she's in. Right? Like she was basically just tricking herself this whole time that she even had a house, right? Like essentially there's no difference, right? She didn't have a house before. She didn't actually have a home. She didn't have a family, you know. Um I guess she had a place to sleep, right, which was in the hallway, but that's not much, you know. So really the situation we're in now is just forcing her to actually deal with the problem. And of course Aragi's not around either, which is like fantastic. That's exactly what we need, you know. So I guess in some way she's going to try and rely on Shinjigahara as much as possible, because just like what she said there, she doesn't have any ideas, because of course she doesn't, right? Like what she, you know. I guess I mean I don't have any ideas either. Like I don't know how to fix your horrible life, Hanakawa, but at least the situation she's in now is forcing her in some way to address it, you know. Because it's not really a new problem, you know. Hmm. And I guess like in this way, her saying Shinjigahara saying that their home is so cramped, it really is like there's no room for Hanakawa here, right? It's not like Hanakawa could just like appropriate their house and their family. You know what I mean? Like she's not able to just rely on someone else to fix it for her, like would be her go-to solution here, right? Um and again, it's not like I don't think she's really doing that like on purpose, right? I don't think on purpose she's just thinking like, oh, I don't want to do anything, so someone else should fix it for me. It's just that she can't bring herself to stand up for herself and do anything about it. So then naturally, people around her that care about her are going to help her, right? Like that's why it's like she's never been able to ask Araragi for help, you know? Because, like, asking someone for help, she could never do that, you know? So again, I guess Senjugahara's house not being big enough for her is kind of like a perfect solution as well, right? It's exactly what she needs, right? We need her to be cut off in a way where she can't just go to someone else for help, right? Or not that she can't go to someone else for help, because she's not doing that exactly, right? She resisted that very explicitly, right? She went to the abandoned school to sleep. You know, we know she's resisting the idea of going somewhere else, of going to someone else for help. But she needs to be in a situation where people around her can't just help her of their own volition, right? So that she is finally forced to face her problems by herself. Hmm. And I don't know, the idea of her parents only taking a week to find some place to rent is a pretty ambitious ambitious thing. I don't know. Does it really only take a week? Like, I guess maybe when they live in the comically gigantic Monogatari city, I suppose. Hmm. So Black Hanakawa's back. Black Hanakawa is back. Which, so we are very explicitly pointing out here that Black Hanakawa and the Tiger have shown up for different reasons, right? Like, at least if we believe Black Hanakawa, right? Which I'm predisposed to believing Black Hanakawa is telling the truth here, right? That because of the house burning down, it's the shock of the house burning down that made Black Hanakawa appear, right? Um, which again, in my mind, it's not really a new problem. It's just the fact that Hanakawa now has to actually face it, right? So Black Hanakawa shows up, right? Because I'm sure in Hanakawa's mind, after her house burns down, it's like she has to face the issue. It makes all of these emotions that she doesn't want to think about start racing through her head. So of course Black Hanakawa shows up, right? Hmm. And yeah, like just like what Black Hanakawa here says, you know, that she's cut off from her master gives Hanakawa peace of mind, right? Which is like the bad thing, right? Like I don't think Black Hanakawa and what she represents should be cut off from Hanakawa, right? I mean, I guess that's obvious, you know, uh, like it's not like, um, Black Hanakawa taking this form and being like this kind of like evil thing in a way is like, of course, that's like an invention of Hanakawa's mind. Like, it's not like her negative emotions have to like take a form like this where she hurts other people, of course, right? But that's how she views it, so that's why it gives her peace of mind, right? Hmm. Never for a second hated her. Of course, of course. It is interesting, right? Because of course, like I guess Black Hanakawa understands whatever. I mean, whatever you want to say. Like if you're separating Black Hanakawa and Hanakawa, I guess it's like I guess this negative side of her in some way understands that she isn't just like this evil thing that hates Hanakawa, like the way that Hanakawa would probably think of her, you know, or think of the emotions that she represents, right? Now that we've thought this whole tiger stuff again, I gotta read this conversation again. That is for sure. I like that. Metal Cat, not quite. Um, but what did she say? Come on. You got the details and the fundamental concept wrong, but not too far off. So, yeah, just everything about what you said is wrong, but you're not too far off. Which, like, I guess makes it, right? Because she's not really a metal cat, not really a Sori Neko, right? Hmm. And so, the tiger, which, again, I'm 100% sure is just like Black Hanakawa, representative of emotions of Hanakawa's. It's so much even more so like separated from Hanakawa than Black Hanakawa is. You know, like it is literally a separate entity. Um, it's like it doesn't even know who Hanakawa is, right? Like it's saying like, "Oh, that girl saw me." You know, it doesn't know who Black Hanakawa is. It doesn't care. Like it just said right there, "I don't care about you," basically. You know, but like it knows what it is. It said as the same type of aberration, which like I think that's pretty obvious what that means, right? The same type of aberration to Black Hanakawa, of course, right? Um, it knows what it is, and it just doesn't care about Hanakawa at all. You know, so I guess it's just kind of like an even more extreme version of Black Hanakawa in that way, right? Like it's something, it's these emotions she has in some way that she thinks are so separate from her that like this would be its attitude towards her, you know? Hmm. And it's interesting as well that Black Hanakawa is taking like an adversarial role towards it too, you know? I guess in that sense, could you say that maybe the tiger? Okay, here, maybe this is the difference that we need to like think about here. Maybe the tiger is representative of like emotions that Hanakawa is feeling that are actually truly self-destructive in some way, or like actually harmful things for her to be like feeling, right? Because unlike Black Hanakawa, right? Like Black Hanakawa is like fake, right? Like Black Hanakawa is emotions that Hanakawa thinks she shouldn't be feeling, you know, and she thinks are like bad, right? And she's wrong. Maybe the tiger is representative of like actual negative emotions that Hanakawa needs to like uh deal with in some way that aren't like Black Hanakawa type emotions that she should just like accept and cope with in like a more normal way, right? Like, and I guess that kind of fits with the idea of like jealousy and envy, right? Because I would say that those are pretty, that's a pretty negative thing to be feeling, right? I think that's a pretty unproductive, you know, like if you're just sitting around jealous of people, that's kind of the opposite of like productively dealing with your issues, you know? I guess what I mean, I guess you could say there's a bunch of emotions like that, like jealousy and hatred and like a bunch of things that I think maybe you shouldn't say you'd be better off without them, but are emotions that you should actually work to like overcome and like not feel, I suppose. Of course, like it's human to feel things like that, so it's you know it's kind of an impossible standard. But maybe that would be the difference then between Black Hanakawa and the tiger, right? The emotions that they represent and like whether or not they're negative in the Hanakawa sense in the way she views them, or like negative in the way that they're emotions that like don't care about her and actually just like, you know, are bad emotions, I guess. Like whatever that means, you know. And like as I'm saying that, I guess like is that really true of any emotions, you know? Like I guess it's I can't think of any situation where it's good to feel incredibly jealous or like hateful towards someone. Um I guess like, you know, I guess, you know, if you want to hate like Hitler, that's probably pretty warranted. But like, I mean, you know, it depends on the situation, I guess. But like, I hope you understand what I mean here, right? Like, if Black Hanakawa is representative of emotions that Hanakawa feels like, you know, wanting to change herself and like wanting to involve other people in her problems, which she thinks is like evil and crazy. Then those aren't emotions that are actually like an evil thing, you know? Okay, maybe that makes sense. Maybe that's what I'm going with. Because I think that makes more sense than that still doesn't really solve my problem I was talking about with like what made the tiger show up now. Um, because again, I guess I just don't know why the tiger would show up now and not before. You know, like why would the tiger just show up now, right? Why not anytime? Like why not in Tsubasa Cat? You know, like I don't know, I don't know. And yeah, like Black Hanakawa is calling out the tiger for causing harm to Hanakawa. Hmm. And I guess like even if let's say the tiger is representative of envy and hatred in some way. Even if those are negative emotions that I think people are better off like not feeling. Not feeling them as in like literally never experiencing them, but not feeling them as in like not wallowing in them and not, you know, just, you know, understanding that it's an emotion you should probably like work with to handle in a way, I guess, right? Um, that doesn't mean that those are like emotions that Hanakawa should actually like cut off from herself, like Black Hanakawa and the tiger like represent, right? Like just like Black Hanakawa, when she feels things like that, of course she would want to think that that's like not her, and she wouldn't want to feel it, right? Um, she should still feel like envy and hatred and jealousy and all of those like truly negative emotions. She should just have like the way to cope with it, you know, because everyone's gonna feel stuff like that, you know. So I guess I'm not saying here that like Hanakawa would be better off without what the tiger represents, or like that anyone would be better off without what the tiger represents. Just like I understand what we mean by when we say that it's causing her harm, you know. And I don't think the solution would be like the solution wouldn't be to like not feel those emotions. I guess is what I'm saying here, you know? Because like I said, I'm rethinking, like how I said before, that like with Black Hanakawa, it's like Hanakawa should just be able to feel the emotions that Hanakawa represents, right? And I think that is true for the tiger as well. Even if the tiger does represent like truly negative emotions, those are still part of being human, and it's something you need to be able to cope with, you know? So yeah, just wanted to get that out there, I guess. Hmm. And of course, like I'm sure as well, Hanakawa's like way of thinking about these emotions is like has also been part of what has made the tiger appear in this form, in this way where it like hates her and like doesn't care about her, right? Because that's how she would think about those emotions, right? Hmm. And like, of course, I mean, just for the millionth time, and that's why she thinks of Hanakawa, Black Hanakawa, in this way too, right? I guess kind of that's like what the what the Sawari Neko was, right? Like she wanted some kind of like entity like the Metal Cat, like the Sawari Neko, to possess her, um, for like some reason, like her bearing it and you know all of that, so that she could have some kind of entity to rely on, you know. Hmm. Already started acting, but like what? And again, like yeah, the girl saw me. We already talked about that, about how like that to me it just makes me feel like it's some kind of emotion that Hanakawa has suddenly started facing, like right now with the tiger appearing. I just don't know what would have caused that exactly. And the tiger's already started acting. What is the tiger doing? What do you mean? What I don't know. Is it I don't is it going around killing people? Like I hope not. That would be rough. I don't know. God, I love this scene. Uh, Sindra Gahara Sindra Gahara basically just accepting Black Hanakawa and what she represents, right? Like her shaking her hand, her accepting the energy drain, right? Like we know what the energy drain represents. We know what Black Hanakawa is. Her shaking her hand, it means so much. Like I really wish Hanakawa could have like seen this, or Hanakawa could remember what Black Hanakawa remembers, you know? Because this is so, this would be so good for Hanakawa to see, you know? Like Sindrugahara accepting what Black Hanakawa is, you know? Like, I wish, man, I wish. Hmm. Hmm. God, she looks so tired. Look at her face, man. How do they even draw tired faces that well? You know, I think it's just her posture here too. Man, you gotta go to sleep. I guess it's lucky that Hanakawa somehow isn't affected by Black Hanakawa being awake in her body. She got plenty of sleep, I guess. And now we have the grand food conversation. um, which I don't. We already talked about it a bunch, but yeah, of course, it's like she doesn't put seasoning on anything because again, unlike this, really, you have to be like Hanakawa pilled to like understand it. It's like it's on this weird level. It's like her making a decision and like taking a stand about the kind of person that she is, that she just like can't bring herself to do. Right? It's the same reason she can't bring herself to ask Aragi for help. It's the same reason she can't do anything about any of her problems. You know, like oh man. Hmm. Got her face there. Also, the music during these scenes was so good. The music during this whole arc so far has been crazy good. Hmm. You're the type that uses salad dressing because I guess like Hanakawa. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I was yeah. It's very crazy, and that's what I mean by like saying as I don't think it's like Hanakawa trying to fit in. because I think this is such a weird, bizarre behavior that if Hanakawa was trying to mold her behavior around what she thought was normal to try and fit in, she wouldn't be acting like this, right? Like I just don't think that's it, you know? Like I think she would if she wanted so badly to fit in and that was her whole goal. I don't think she would be like this. I think she would be well aware that normal people use salad dressing, you know. Like maybe like for then I would expect like it to be that she used salad dressing and stuff, but she actually hated it, you know, and she did that because she thought it was the right thing to do, you know. But she doesn't, you know, because she accepts anything, right? Isn't food good even without flavor? What a crazy thing to say, you know? Hmm. And yeah, it's really it's just Hanakawa doesn't have tastes, right? It really I mean, no, well no. That's mean to say. That's a mean thing to say. She does have tastes, she just ignores them, right? Like she definitely does have tastes, she's just unable to like you know, just like everything else, she's unable to like acknowledge them, and she doesn't, you know, like so effectively she doesn't have taste. She really does, but just like every other part of herself, she's like disconnected it from herself, right? Hmm. And Shinjigahara is like apparently a psychologist. She's crazy. I don't know. She was locked in. Like man, it's way easier for me to psychoanalyze her because I know she's an anime character. But like Shinjigahara is in there. Hmm. Hmm. And like I guess we bring up the idea again of whether or not Hanakawa is really in love with Araragi. Like I don't know. Is she? I guess I think she is. I think the important thing here is going to be like I don't think the resolution here is going to be that Hanakawa just actually wasn't in love with Haruaki all along, right? I think because she's so detached from her own emotions and everything, it's like she needs to understand like what love is and what that means and like what Senju just said about how it's just important to have something you detest as something you love, you know, like obviously the conclusion here isn't going to be that Hanakawa is actually has no tastes and actually isn't in love with Araki and et cetera, right? Like, so I think she is in love with Araki. I just think because of how disconnected she is from her emotions, that's part of why she has been unable to confess to him. That's part of why she's been unable to like cope with it and understand like what she's feeling towards him, you know? So I think she is, you know, just like how I think she actually does have tastes in food. She just doesn't let herself acknowledge them, you know. Yeah, that's where I'm going with that, I guess. And that's the episode. Um that was a very good episode. I loved that episode. Um God, and we still have another 3 left in this arc. That's crazy. That is crazy. I am very excited to see where we are going. Um hmm. I don't know, is there anything else? I think I really covered everything. We talked a whole bunch. Um Yeah, I think that is it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. Yeah, I guess that's it. I forgot to say this earlier in the intro. I really gotta start saying it. If you enjoy my content, I mean, if you made it this far into the video, you surely enjoy my content. So hit the subscribe button. Um, really gotta get that number up there. Surely it'll give me a whole bunch of dopamine to see the number get bigger. So subscribe to me if you like the video. Leave a comment, tell me what you think, of course, as always, and I will see you in the next one.